Hello and welcome back to my channel. By the time this goes up, this should be the third installment of Am I the Asshole Reddit stories. Today we are going to be reading about some in-laws. We can decide if they are clear or actual monster in-laws. Am I for criticizing my daughter-in-law? I might have some opinions about this. I am a daughter-in-law, so... I, 60 male, am retired and living with my wife, 62 female, who recently retired as well due to health issues. I retired early when my youngest son, 34 male, completed his degree about 14 years ago. Our country currently has a housing crisis, so my son and his wife rented when they started their marriage. When my wife and I noticed that they were dipping into our emergency fund and our savings was getting depleted, we asked our son and his wife to move in since the house is going to them when we pass anyway. They both have stable jobs and my daughter-in-law has other side businesses that allow her to financially support her own parents as well. Good on her. We belong to a culture where it's customary to take care of your parents when they get old. I hope I can do that one day. They moved in and have been covering all expenses which help us keep our savings intact. They pay for groceries, electricity, water, internet, our more expensive medications, and everything else around the house. They also paid for our annual property taxes. They also help around the house when they aren't working. One thing I don't like is their style of living. They both work from home and they converted one of the spare rooms into an office, and I hate how cluttered it can get when I walk past. I told my son that my daughter-in-law should spend some extra time straightening up both their desks after work to keep the room organized. Why does she have to do it? At one point, I walked past their bedroom while my son was walking out, so the door was ajar, and I saw my daughter-in-law lounging on the bed, legs akimbo. I told my son it was unbecoming of a woman to behave like that. My son said she isn't like that in the living room, but feels comfortable to lounge a bit freely in the privacy of their bedroom. Yeah, as you should be able to do whatever you want in your own room. Yeah. My son and daughter-in-law have been distant with me since, with my daughter-in-law barely speaking to me at all. My wife spoke to the both of them to ask if they are okay, and my daughter-in-law said she felt I was being misogynistic and that she didn't feel comfortable interacting with me anymore. She also said to my wife that if she doesn't end up feeling better about this situation, she will look into renting again and will move out and end the financial support to focus on their own living expenses. This is something we cannot afford to happen, as it has been easier with them taking over all expenses, but I still think I'm right and they should take my feedback. Am I the asshole? I missed something. Hold on. At one point, I walked past. Oh, right. Oh, yeah, that's right. It's the dude. It's the father-in-law. Oh. Reddit definitely dubbed this person the asshole, and I definitely see why. Didn't hit me quite right at first, because I'm an idiot sometimes. But, yeah, no, you are definitely the asshole. One, I mean, in your own bedroom, your own private bedroom, you should be able to sit or lounge however you decide. Yeah, considering you said that walking by their bedroom and felt the need to actually say something, like, yeah, I get why she was uncomfortable, is uncomfortable. And then, of course, you're worried because there goes your way of living. That's one of those things where you should think before you speak and do better, honestly. Am I the asshole for saying no to being my future sister-in-law's bridesmaid? Am I the asshole for saying no to being my future sister-in-law's bridesmaid? My 29 female, so herself, brother 30 male, Tom, is getting married to Kim, 30 female, next spring. Okay. I've always liked Kim for Tom. She's supportive of him and kind, and she really appreciates and adores him. I'm very happy for them. I've always found Kim a little excitable for my taste, but I'm well aware my taste is irrelevant, and I don't see Kim that often as I'm mom to a young child, and I live abroad half the year. That sounds like a nice setup. Nice. With this context, I was very surprised to arrive home from a trip to find a package from Kim containing a bridesmaid proposal. Is that what they're called? Kit, and a handwritten letter from Kim asking me to be one of her bridesmaids. I planned to give her a call within a couple of days to let her know I wouldn't be able to do it, citing a busy schedule and the demands of a toddler. Unfortunately, my husband had a medical emergency the next day, and I had to deal with an ungodly amount of admin for the next few days, and it slipped my mind until I was on my way to see Tom and Kim's engagement cocktail party at my parents' house. Wish I knew how long that was. I wasn't going to say anything about it to Kim that night, but the second I got there, she said she was dying to introduce me to the other bridesmaids, and honestly, meeting them and hearing about all the fun activities further cemented my decision. I pulled Kim aside and told her that I wouldn't be able to be a bridesmaid. She snapped, asking why, at which point I calmly told her that while I don't have to explain myself and didn't appreciate her not respecting my answer, I didn't have time to take part in the activities or dedicate any time to planning or helping her. Kim tried to argue it with me, which drew the attention of some of her friends, so they were now listening in, and I again explained to her that I couldn't do it. Kim then snapped that that's just an excuse and I can make time for things when I want to, referring to the fact that an employee of my husband got married last year, and I planned and hosted their wedding for my friends. At which point I said, yes, but Kim, you and I are not friends. Oh. Ooh. Something snapped and Kim began bawling. Her intoxicated friends started swearing at me. It was a long night. There is no consensus on whether or not I'm the asshole for not doing it. Responses range from whatever Kim's friends were saying to, why did she even ask you, to everything in between. Tom still wants me to change my mind because he said it would make his life easier, but says he won't hold it against me for not taking on the burden, and his opinion is obviously the most important here. It's not that I'm holding out just to make his life complicated. I just really don't feel that I can do this, and even if I could, I really don't want to. Am I the asshole? ETA. Okay, people keep telling me to add this. The time between receiving the box and the party was 1 working week. Okay, so you had a whole week to reply. I got home on Sunday night, received the package. Monday morning, my husband was taken to the hospital. I forgot everything that happened before that moment for the next 5 days, including being asked to be a bridesmaid. My husband was released from hospital on the Friday afternoon. The party was Saturday evening. Wow, he was there for a whole week? It was only on my way to the party, having finally had a chance to think about something other than the possibility of my life falling apart for more than a minute, that I remembered the box. I didn't deliberately wait until the party to tell Kim. If things were really that stressful, like, I could understand forgetting something like that. I mean, I forget stuff all the time, so it sounded like you did a whole thing for someone that wasn't even your friend. It was a friend of your husband's, and then you go and tell your future sister-in-law that you don't want the burden because you guys are not friends. I don't think she should have necessarily gotten mad at you for declining, but like, I would be upset as well if someone was like, oh, I don't want to do this for you because we're not friends. Especially if, like, we're essentially about to be family. It's like, ouch, okay? My feelings? Dang. Man, there's so many sides, but I think everybody sucks. I mean, I will say that OP is an asshole for how she went about everything. And I get that life happens, especially, you know, something happening with, you know, your other half. No, still an asshole move. Your future sister-in-law is kind of being an asshole too. Everybody kind of just sucks. Let's see what Reddit said. Everyone sucks. Okay. So me and Reddit had the same thoughts. Let's move on. Am I the asshole for not giving equal payment to my in-laws versus my parents? It should really state that we are TAs because this absolutely was a decision my husband and I made together and both felt was fair and generous. Sorry, this is a little hard for me to read for some reason. I recently won a large sum of money. It's not the life-changing quit your job and never work again type of amount, but it's significantly more money than I've ever had in my account before. Nice. My husband and I talked at great lengths about sharing the money, what it would look like, and alternatives such as paying for a family vacation. We decided to gift each household of our immediate family $20,000 each. So my mother-in-law and father-in-law received $20K. Both of my sister-in-laws, my brother and his family, my mother and my father and stepmother all received equal amounts regardless of whether they were married or single, kids or no kids. One of my sister-in-laws has mentioned that my mother-in-law is complaining that they should have received $40K to make it fair since my parents are divorced and they each got $20K. Since I only have one sibling, we thought it worked out nice and evenly since each side of the family is getting $60K total between each of the three households. My husband is embarrassed and annoyed that his mom isn't being more grateful, and while it wouldn't break us financially to give them the extra, it feels unfair to my parents to get less just because they aren't married anymore. Edit, I just wanted to add that my mother-in-law never actually said anything directly to us. We have chosen to ignore the comment unless she speaks to us directly about it. Definitely not the a-hole. It's your money. You didn't even need to give anything to anybody if you really didn't want to. So the fact that you think it's evenly split between all the houses seems fair enough, and you were nice enough to do that anyway. Your mother-in-law sounds like she is being what's that word? Beautiful word. Entitled. Oh my gosh. And Reddit also dubbed this person not the asshole. Am I the asshole for refusing to remove the hunting mounts when my sister-in-law is staying at the cabin? My family has a hunting cabin that has been passed down for generations. I am an only child, so it went to me when my father died. Now, I don't really hunt, always found it boring, but going up to the cabin to fish or just swim with the kids has always been fun. I fixed the place up, and it's a great place to get away for the weekend. Now, my sister-in-law fell on hard times. We are going to have her stay at the house, but drive her to work. But her drive to work would be awful. So we decided to have her stay at the cabin since her drive would be a lot better and more room for everyone. I went up with her this week and show the cabin before she moves in next week. The cabin is old, and over the years, family members have gotten mounts or had what they hunted preserved. There are a lot of furs, rugs, and head mounts. Okay. I mean, it was originally a cabin made for hunting, so okay. She told me she can't move in and needed them to go. I was taken aback since we are doing her a huge favor. I told her all the stuff is staying. She was mad, but I thought that was it. I get home and my wife goes off on me for caring more about the family mounts than her sister being comfortable. She is not talking to me, and I just feel like we are doing a huge favor for sister-in-law, and that she can't suck it up, then she doesn't get a free place to live. I mean, that's it. Like, it's your house. You own it. You don't have to take anything down that you don't want to. And if it really is as furnished as you say it is, with all the mounts and whatnot and the furs and whatever, like, I can't imagine that would just be easy to throw into a closet or, wherever you would have to put it, and then hopefully they don't get damaged. Sister-in-law is lucky to be getting a free place to live, honestly. Reddit also dubbed this person not the a-hole. Am I the asshole for not know wedding gifts apparently have expiration dates now? So a few years back, my wife got married. Her brother, who works for a major U.S. airline, gifted us 2 round-trip tickets to anywhere in the 48 USA states, so no Alaska or no Hawaii. Okay. There was never anything said about how long we had to use them, and fact, it clearly said in the card whenever you both want, all he needed was 1 month notice. Since that time, he has been promoted many times, is the airline's union representative, and one of the long people employed at this airport for this company. We just recently asked if we could sub 2 round trips. That was the gift for 1 round trip for a friend of ours who was looking to move back here. Whoa, hold on. We just recently asked if we could sub 2 round trips. That was the gift. Okay. For 1 round trip for a friend of ours who was looking to move back here 6 months before we needed the tickets. Okay. He now tells us that not only can he not give us our wedding present, but cannot get any ticket. This, of course, is after his trips to California and Florida. Why does that matter? Why is that relevant? So I said, that cool, cash at me $1,600, the price of 2 round trip to Vegas where wifey and I would have gone, and then never talked to us again. Wow. He then bashed me and his sister, my wife, to the rest of the family, and now I am the asshole for expecting he actually give my wife and I our gift. Wow, that's a lot to take in. Hold on. My brain is trying to compute. That's wild. Like, one, I don't know why you waited for so long. Like, a few years back, why would you wait so long that you cash in anything, honestly? You're an entitled asshole for thinking that because he told you no to the benefits of his job, by the way, his job to his immediate family, not you. You sat there and demanded $1,600? Like, who do you think you are? That's the real question. Like, definitely asshole. This Reddit definitely dubbed this person asshole. I think we got a couple more stories. Am I the a-hole for calling my father-in-law a pervert? Oh, you know, it starts off really good when you read it and it says, I have a 7-month-old baby boy I'm breastfeeding, but baby is currently weaning. Breastfeeding and pervert, that close to each other, you already know father-in-law's probably an a-hole. I'm convinced that my father-in-law is being weird about my breastfeeding and not in a that makes me uncomfortable way. I made the baby popsicles from my boob milk a few months ago, and father-in-law put in the group chat that I'd love to try one of those with a hearts as eyes emoji. I said, what the fuck? They're made from breast milk. And he said he didn't notice that caption. Today I baked the baby some muffins. It's a recipe that called for a half cup of breast milk, so I made them per recipe. Father-in-law came over unannounced and said, oh yum, someone's been baking. So I told him those muffins are for the baby. They're just fruit, flour, and breast milk. I have a normal cake we can have. I then left the room to wash my hands, came back, and one of the muffins was missing. Oh. Hey. I asked husband, and he had no idea, so I asked father-in-law, and he said that he ate it. I said, that's disgusting. I told him they were the babies and contained breast milk. He doubled down and said it's okay because breast milk is vegan. No one in this story is vegan. Okay. And I told him he's a creepy pervert and to get the fuck out of my house. Dang. Husband is baffled by the whole thing and was convinced it was a misunderstanding even though I explicitly said they're made with breast milk. Father-in-law said I'm a dick because I'd made loads and the baby wouldn't miss out. That's not the point. Sorry. Mother-in-law was blowing up my phone until I asked her if she was really okay with father-in-law drinking milk that came direct from my breast. And I think she didn't get the whole story. My sisters say it's fucking gross and father-in-law is a weirdo. Oh, there's more. There's more. No, father-in-law is definitely a weirdo. Yeah. I don't know why I said no to start that, but yeah, he is a bit weird. Update. I asked my husband what he thought I was mad about. He was in the room, but on the other side and occupied with the baby. And he said he didn't realize that his dad actually ate the muffin. He thought I was pissed because he was messing with them. He also didn't remember the group chat incident, but agreed that both incidents together is creepy. I called mother-in-law to clear the air, and she revealed that father-in-law has always been very interested in lactation, and she actually only had fed her... Whoa, what? And she actually only fed husband for 4 months and always behind a locked door. What? My brain just broke. We'll come back to that. Apparently, he moved jobs after a woman complained that he kept intruding on her pumping in a designated space in the office. Okay, what the fuck? Woo! I've told them father-in-law is not welcome around me and have asked for the key to our house back. I shared the concerns about him tampering with my milk and contaminating it, and also that if his own wife wanted him locked out, then I'm entitled to that too. The comment that hit my husband was the one about father-in-law getting off for years on the memory of eating the gross as fuck baby muffin. Husband said he wouldn't be able to look father-in-law in the eye again. So that's his dad. That's his dad. What the No, Oki, you are not the asshole. And oh my god, the poor lady at that father-in-law's old job. Oh, god, I can only imagine how uncomfortable that was. Ugh, it's so gross. Yeah, your father-in-law is gross as fuck, dude. Gross as fuck. This is our last story for the day. Am I the a-hole for standing up for myself on my wedding day? I need some perspective on a situation that happened at my wedding last weekend. It involves my husband's sister Lisa, 31 female. We have never been too close because she is ultra-Christian and I'm an atheist, but things were never too bad between us until my wedding night. The ceremony went perfectly, but during the reception, my now sister-in-law kept making passive-aggressive comments to me about the wedding. She was complaining about the food, the music, the venue, and the decorations, and it was really starting to get under my skin. I tried to brush it off and focus on enjoying my special day. I figured she was just in a foul mood since she was recently divorced, but she just wouldn't stop. I even asked my husband to talk to her about it, but he said it wasn't a big deal and I was overreacting. Then during our first dance, Lisa came up and grabbed the microphone from the DJ and started giving a speech about how she and my husband used to be so close and how much she misses him and how much he changed since meeting me, how lonely she is now. She was laying it on thick like she was mourning my husband or something. I have to admit, at this point I saw red. It was so inappropriate and disrespectful, and it felt like she was trying to make the wedding about her instead of us. Yeah, it seems like that. I confronted her after the speech and told her that she was being disrespectful and that she needed to stop it. We got into a heated argument, and it was really uncomfortable for everyone around us. Afterwards, she stormed off, and we didn't really see her again for the rest of the night. After the wedding, my husband's family was upset with me for causing drama and ruining the mood of the reception. They think I should have just let it go and not confronted Lisa about her behavior. I feel like I was justified in standing up for myself and my husband on our special day. The mood was already ruined and her awkward speech interrupting my husband and I's first dance together. My sister-in-law won't talk to me and my mother-in-law has been repeatedly calling me demanding I apologize. My husband has not really been helpful either. He hates any kind of conflict, especially with his mother. My own family is on my side. So, am I the asshole for causing drama with my sister-in-law at my wedding? Should I have just let it go and not said anything? Absolutely not. No, she was being super disrespectful, and regardless of what your religious views are, if you get invited to a wedding, especially if you're not in the wedding party, you're just a guest, like, your deal is to just show up and be there for your family or whoever's wedding you're invited to. Like, they want you there. Not to sit there and criticize everything, not to judge them, and not to make weird speeches about how lonely you are. Your husband needs to stop pussyfooting around and pick a side, which better be your side, to be honest. Reddit dubbed this person not the asshole. Let's check out some comments. Not the asshole, but your confrontation averse husband, enabling in-laws, and bizarre sister-in-law are the real assholes here. She sounds unhinged. If I'd been a friend of hers, I would have been helping her set down the microphone and take her somewhere to cool off. And no, when someone is basically saying that you're marrying her brother is destroying their relationship, that person doesn't need accommodating. That person needs therapy. Big facts. Big facts, dog. Honestly, I do feel bad for her. I think she does need therapy. Divorce is seen as a huge sin in their religion, and she hasn't been coping with it well. Did it say she was divorced? Because I don't remember it saying anything about her being divorced. Oh, that's OP. Okay, honestly, I do feel bad for her. I think she does need therapy. Divorce is seen as a huge sin in their religion, and she hasn't been coping with it. Oh, so OP said that her sister just recently been divorced. Okay. So I can get why, if you're not grieving, if you're not handling a divorce well, you may get some intrusive thoughts and do some crazy stuff. That doesn't mean it's okay for her to do that at all. But sister-in-law definitely needs some help. Most religions also have some flowery text that is a version of don't be a complete asshole as well, but she had no issue breaking that one either. Treat others the way you would like to be treated is the golden rule for a reason. Pretty sure no one is down for that sort of spectacle at their own wedding, and if I'd been the parent of sister-in-law, I'd be helping scoot her off to take a minute and collect herself. Assuming OP is American, a lot of American Christians do not actually do what Jesus said to do. They apparently stopped listening after the Old Testament. OP is not the a-hole, and husband and his family seem to kind of suck and need mental help. You don't suck if you need mental help, I should clarify, but they need mental help and they also happen to suck. I appreciate your support, and I will see you guys on the next episode of Am I the Asshole? Bye-bye. If you've made it this far into the video, please like and subscribe.